Oh, you. Oh, wait, shoot. I started too soon. Whatever. We're going. We're live.
Oh, ah!
Ah!
I was not
Ah!
ready. Welcome back to the podcast. Yeah. Nathan and Steven podcast Time Times. We talk about things and movies and things and shows and things.
Yep.
Today we're talking about, is this episode 7?
Yes.
Yes. Right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. We're talking about WandaVision episode 3.
3.
Yeah, 3. So, I mean, we've already talked about it a lot, like off podcast, off screen, but we have a lot to say about it still. So let's just dive into it. So, what'd you think of the episode? Do you like it?
Um, yeah, I liked it. I
Yeah.
mean, it was pretty similar to the other ones, other than like the reveal at the end of like Sword, and it like gave you like a little more into what's
Mhm.
going on outside of Wanda's universe, just but like not much.
Yeah. I've
So
said this a lot, and I'm not trying to be a hater, but I do like everyone's saying this episode is so good and like it's so much better. I think it's pretty much the same. I know there's that reveal at the end, and it was cool to get the outside world, but like I feel like every episode follows that same formula where you get bits and pieces, and then at the end you get the big reveal.
yeah,
So I thought
pretty
it was the
much.
same. It was definitely the most tense, so that was good. Major Get Out vibes from this one for real. Like this,
Mhm.
we made like comparisons at first. I was like, I don't know if this is the best one, but this is definitely that's the comparison I would draw. So, what did you specifically like about this one?
Um, I mean, it's pretty much the same as what I like from all the other episodes. It's
Yeah,
like the parts that aren't sitcom,
yeah.
like where you actually start to learn things. So like, um, the whole thing with whatever, what's her name? The person who got kicked out.
Monica
Yeah,
Rambo.
Monica. She's like when I don't even know what happened, but she like talked about Age of Ultron, and then like Wanda went kind of insane. I don't know. It
Yeah,
was definitely
like
interesting.
the okay. So obviously this is MCU and these are two MCU characters, but none of like Wanda and Vision, neither of them act like their MCU character selves. So hearing them say the word like Ultron, like it triggered Wanda obviously, but for me it triggered like dang, like this is actually part of the MCU
Yeah,
still.
yeah,
Like it
it's
was like an interesting
weird.
reminder because it doesn't feel like the MCU at all still,
Yeah,
but I mean, it's not supposed to. Very
yeah. That's why
interesting.
it feels weird to like see the MCU title
Exactly.
thing like in the beginning.
Yeah, like the title sequence. Yeah, and then after
Yeah,
you get that WandaVision like song.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was really like most of the episode took place in like one like room, which is really because the other ones it's
yeah.
not like they go through a bit. Yeah, I don't know. It was really interesting. Oh, and one detail. Okay, for like likes, just a small detail I like was, how the
Mhm.
doctor was describing like the fruit, like to compare the
Oh yeah,
pregnancy.
she like picked up.
She was like,
Yeah,
and then yeah, like she picked up one, and then later like Vision caught one, and it was the same size. That was just a really good detail.
yeah.
Oh, what do you think about the commercial? Because the other
I was
two,
gonna ask you that. Yeah,
yeah, the other two were definitely bigger. Like
reveals.
more on the
Or
nose
like, yeah,
commercials.
I don't know if they are actual hints. I'm still trying to figure it out.
I saw an Agents of Shield comparison. I don't know if you watched that show, but there's like a two line like phrase of dialogue that Phil Coulson says at one point. He
Hmm.
talks about how Hydra tried to put like chemicals into soap to brainwash them or something, but it turned out to be conspiracy. It wasn't real.
Hmm.
And then it was
So
called
that's
Hydra
like,
soap, and that's what it's
okay,
called in this. I think that was a reference because that seems like a very odd thing. Because this seems more
yeah,
like Wanda's voice rather than her being brainwashed.
yeah.
And then anyway, the slogan was "Find the Goddess Within." I feel like that was the more significant part rather than like the tie in the Agents of Shield. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I just like the second and third one. I mean, they're both Hydra related, so I thought like
Yeah,
maybe Hydra has something to do with it. But like the first one doesn't feel like of any significance. Like it's just Tony Stark and Stark Industries,
yeah,
and it's like I don't see how they could play a part in this whole thing, especially with Tony being dead.
yeah. No, it'll be interesting to see how much is Easter eggs and how much actually ties in. Because this
Yeah,
time, like I'm always excited for the commercials now, but it's now it's like that one wasn't disappointing. I was just like I didn't learn that much as the other two.
yeah, and
I
especially
think it
because
was
the second one was about Stryker, which feels more
yeah,
like a reference because I'm pretty sure he's dead, right? Or
yeah.
I don't even remember what
I think
happened to
it is.
him.
He probably is. I'm not sure. Yeah. I mean, instead of going to dislikes, I think let's just talk about the episode. So one of the interest. Okay, let's talk about Herb and like Agnes and them. Him sawing down a wall. So that was very That was one of the first. That was pretty early, and we talked about how the
Yeah,
end had the tense episode, but later the tense moments. But that was pretty early, and that was for sure creepy. I
yeah, it's
mean,
just a weird moment.
I'm not sure if it was a glitch or if he's like it's hard to tell if these characters are real people inserted in like Monica or if they're just like figments of
Yeah,
like the
Well,
reality.
one thing that I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to remember if they did it in other episodes, but like the background is like fake. Like you can
That looked
clearly
it
tell.
looked way more fake than the
Like
other
I
times.
don't think it was
I
like that.
think I couldn't tell if that was, like, trying to mimic a sitcom type of thing or if it's
Yeah.
literally, like, the border of their reality. Because we saw
Yeah.
at the end, like, they're keeping them in the I don't know. I did realize that too. That's really interesting.
I just
Yeah,
don't
and then
remember seeing that in any other episodes. So
the doctor was talking about how the town is hard to escape when he was trying to go on vacation or
yeah,
whatever. I don't
that was a
know if that was clearly like some line. He was trying to be creepy and whatever, and he was so there. It all ties in. Like I can't tell if the real people inserted in or if they're brainwashed. Or it's very yeah. I don't know yet.
yeah.
That's one thing I'm
I
not sure
think
about.
he is more of Wanda control under Wanda's control or whoever's controlling. Like I know
Yeah,
Wanda has part of the control, but it's still unclear if like she's being influenced by someone else, like
yeah,
Mephisto or whatever the
yeah.
theories are saying. Um,
We'll talk
but
about the
like
yeah,
clearly like her or someone else is keeping the doctor in town because his car randomly breaks down and then he says that line where it's
yeah,
like hard to escape a small
yeah.
town or whatever.
They all are, yeah. But so the one interesting thing I talked about this in the last one. So Vision, I feel like has to be somewhat real because Vision interacts with the Doctor, and Agnes interacts with Herb. So they're interacting with them when Wanda and Vision aren't there yet. Which means like I don't know why they would be talking or communicating with each other if they're both fake. If they can sort of like their
Yeah.
reality. I don't know why they would be communicating. So it's a very I don't know. I feel like Herb's definitely plays some role, even if it's smaller, because he's talking to Agnes, and we already know Agnes is sketchy.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if like the characters when they're off screen they just stop like a
I know. I don't. Yeah,
but like yeah, well Agnes is he's most like she is most likely a real person.
yeah, and she's probably
If
that Agatha Harkness or whatever they're saying, because she has the same necklace, I guess, as the
yeah.
character. So that's probably mostly confirmed. So yeah, I mean, before we get to the Mephisto stuff, I want to talk about the end because that's like predictions for future episodes.
Hmm.
The end of this one, the ones everyone's talking about. Oh, also something really interesting. The whole episode is based around her pregnancy and trying to hide her powers and all the crazy stuff going on. Then
Hmm.
Vision, without like hesitancy, puts the doctor on his back and like speed runs. I thought those were really.
Yeah, and it was
They didn't even
weird.
talk about that, so
It's
that was
just
really
like it was like a random detail that was just like oh they can pretty much do whatever they want
yeah,
and like they don't matter because
yeah,
even when Monica found out about her power she brushed it off
yeah.
or not her power her pregnancy
No,
but
I know, yeah. No,
so
so okay, we'll get into the whole shenanigans. So once Monica shows up, she's clearly there for like she invades and she overstays her welcome because
yeah.
Wanda wants her gone. They play it as like shenanigans, but she's definitely like there to get information in the first place. And
Hmm.
then the stork shows up. People are theorizing about that. I think it was just like just a silly scenario because her
I
whole thing.
think it's just like something
Yeah,
from Wanda's mind because
yeah,
that's what
because
she
the whole
sees as pregnancy or like
because she
because
there
like
was
the
a
whole show is supposed to be this is Wanda's reality of an American life so
yeah.
like because all she's seen is TV. So then this is something like this is what she thinks of when she thinks of being pregnant is a stork bringing a baby.
Well,
So like
and
I think
like more directly, the stork was literally the painting on the wall
yeah,
because you saw it disguised, and I think it was just this situation of her like her contractions were causing like crazy stuff to happen.
yeah, crazy, yeah. They
And
were just like
anyway,
random thoughts in her mind.
yeah, and then she has twins, and she names them based off like their kids' names from the comics. I guess that's what everyone's
Yeah.
saying. That I think is a reference. I don't think they're going to be new Avengers unless those people like carry into the real of reality. I think they're probably just
Well, yeah, unless it follows the comics exactly, because the whole
yeah.
thing, everyone is like, "Oh, Mephisto's gonna infuse
Mhm.
his soul with theirs," because that's what
Yeah, and try to
happened.
get it's very odd. I don't know how. Yeah, that seems I don't know. I feel like that definitely feels like a reference. Like I know the Mephisto thing is more likely to be true, but the names I feel like it's just like, hey, these two characters exist.
Especially like putting babies in the MCU. Like I
Yeah,
know
yeah,
eventually they will become new Avengers, but what are they supposed to do? Like Wanda can't keep take care of them in the
yeah. Exactly.
meantime.
It's a
Like
weird.
at least with Tony Stark, Tony's daughter, like Pepper is there.
In the
Like
time
it's
you
like
took care of her, they weren't doing any
yeah,
Avengers stuff.
exactly. Yeah. And like she's supposed to be, I think, eventually.
Eventually, yeah. And what was the one? Oh yeah. So eventually, yeah. So the twins. She has twins, and she says she's a twin, and she's talks about Pietro and whatever, and like that. That's almost her being snapped back into reality. Like she's talking about her real life Like,
Yeah.
the whole time it seems like she's trying to hide that and this is her new reality, but, like, this time she literally opens up about her other life, almost like she's remembering it, but she clearly has knowledge of it the whole time, I feel like. I don't know. So then Monica does the I don't know what her plan was there, bringing up Ultron.
It's just I don't know. Her character feels very off, and I know it's like because she's supposed to be real, but she doesn't feel real still. Like her whole in the beginning, she was like, I don't know why I'm here. Like in the first episode or second episode was when she
Yeah,
was introduced.
yeah, yeah.
She was like, I don't know why I'm here, and like she was really confused, and that's why I thought like right away I was like, well maybe like
She's
she was
brainwashed.
literally brainwashed and put in,
Maybe.
but like I don't know how they would be
But then if she
monitoring it.
remembered that Ultron stuff, it's
Yeah,
odd.
I know. But then when she was like kicked out, like at the very end,
They're pointing guns
her
at her.
face, like she seemed surprised and
Yeah,
shocked. And
but
like why would they need that many agents to come pick up one
I
of
know
their
it was
own?
bizarre. It was weird. It was weird for sure. So yeah, want to go sicko mode, whatever. Terrifying scene for me still. I still think it was scary, but anyway, it's just really and because you don't know what happens. Or like obviously, I didn't remember the trailer, her getting thrown out, but whatever.
Did that happen in the
So then,
trailer?
yeah, there's like a teaser or whatever, like a two
Oh,
second clip of her getting like they actually show Wanda like break the
yeah.
wall. But anyway, so Vision comes in the house and she's just staring at the floor like a freaking psychopath, and she's like, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, so Monica gets thrown out, and then you see her outside of the Sword Agency, cars and troops around her, and then
There's one other thing I want to talk about with
okay, yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
scene.
for sure,
Okay, so like I know like you can see it the bubble or whatever in the
yeah,
sword agency, and
yeah,
that's everyone's thinking that's where Wanda is and like where
yeah.
everyone else is. But then why does Monica come out of the sky?
Yeah, I don't think necessarily that area is. That's just. I feel like that's just the theory because honestly, this could just be lights. Like everyone thinks it's a force field, but there's no proof that that's the exact area. There
Yeah.
was. I don't know if you saw. I sent it to you. There's like a image of her with what's the Asian Wu, Asian Wu or
Oh
whatever,
yeah, yeah.
Jimmy Wu. He's like reaching in, and she's with him, and she's like reaching in through the force field. I don't know if it's that area, but like there is some like contained area that it's in somehow. So.
Yeah.
And when she gets thrown out, there's a sign that says "Welcome to Westview," so it's a real place in the real world, but it looks really
Yeah.
like dirty and abandoned.
I still think it's like a pocket dimension that Wanda created in her mind.
Possibly,
And like I
yeah.
think the force field is just containing Wanda. Cause
Okay,
I think I don't know. Cause Wanda, I feel like in the real world, with all this stuff going on in her brain, like I feel like her powers just be like out of hand.
yeah,
And like that's probably why they want to get her out because she's like causing like a bunch of stuff to happen in the real
and
world.
that
I
would
don't
make
know.
more sense to tie into Multiverse of Madness for sure, because
Yeah.
if she's creating a pocket, yeah, that would make most sense. So let's talk about Mephisto. Theorized to be the villain. Like from the start, I wasn't sure. As it goes on, first I thought it was references. The more I think about it, the more it would make sense. So
Yeah.
you go
It's
first
just
on
they're
that.
doing so much to just like try to just hammer in your
I
brain
know,
that he's gonna be there. Like it
I know,
feels like I get the occasional reference and they're really like, oh he that was just like a trick or whatever.
yeah,
But like doing it this many times, like I
I
feel
know.
like he has to be there.
I do think it was what we talked about earlier, just like what me and you were chatting about was not like a Thanos big bad tease, obviously, but I think it would be. There's 9 episodes. I think it would literally be in the small fragment at the end of episode 9, teasing that he was behind this, and then it would tie in, and he would be the villain of Doctor Strange and be part of that
Yeah.
multiverse of
Yeah.
madness. But I don't know, honestly.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm indifferent. Like I'm
Um
50-50. I could see.
Another thing that I've noticed, like I thought about it the other day,
Yeah,
and it was like the main color that Wanda sees before when all in black and white is red.
yeah,
And like that just feels
yeah, for
like
sure.
a
Like
hint.
yeah,
I don't know.
symbolic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Especially
is
because it's blood. Like one of them was blood, and it just feels, yeah,
the helicopter, and then the stork was red, even though that was already in color, but.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he most likely will be now, and especially like if any doubt I had is like Agatha's probably Agnes. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's hard to tell. Same thing goes within the teasers though. They're wearing their Halloween costumes, and then Agatha's wearing a witch. It could just be symbolic of the comics, and I don't know. But
yeah.
at the same time, though, maybe it's their way of showing that she is like
A
Agatha.
witch,
I don't know.
literally. Yeah,
I don't know. There's every time we do about this, it's mostly just theorizing because I feel the same about every episode so far, and I feel like
yeah.
until they leave this sitcom world, it's like, yeah.
Hello?
Hey,
I'm back.
yeah, I just feel like until they actually leave the sitcom world, there won't be many like actual plot points to talk about because I feel like they're going to continue this format of like the sitcom is the main storyline they're dropping in until the Halloween one. That one looks like stuff actually picks up.
Yeah.
That one actually looks like it has events in it. And then
Hmm.
at one point, you know, they're going to fight for their home in some sort of way because that's what is teased. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Uh, yeah. I mean,
I feel
I
like
think they're definitely going to be in in the show. Like,
next episode will definitely be another sitcom, I think, and then like
yeah.
another.
I mean, it's just going to be,
He did. Paul Bettany did say that it was going to be a mind blowing one. I don't know, man. I mean, you could say that about all of them, I guess.
I think it's going to be more about Sword.
I think there's got to be some crazy stuff packed into these the last episodes for sure because the budget was like 250 million. I'm not saying it was cheap to make the first three, but there's definitely not like millions of dollars worth of production. It looks like in those.
Yeah.
It obviously looks like they spent some money, but like
Hmm.
250 million dollars is like full blown like action movie. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a big production. So that they definitely have to have some sort of stuff in order to pull that off.
Yeah. I don't,
Yeah.
because they have to fit Agatha,
Hmm.
Mephisto, and explain what Sword and like their whole thing
Yeah.
and fix the whole conflict of Wanda. I mean, it's going to be a lot for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just, Sword just feels off to me. I don't know. Like
It does
everything
feel
that they
weird because
do,
you don't know if they're the villain or not.
yeah.
It's
But I
also
mean,
from the perspective we're in though, because Wanda might be the villain, and that's what I think
that's,
personally.
yeah.
But
Yeah, that might be true.
like Sword might not actually be bad; it just looks like that to us. I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, Wanda might just be insane. But then
Yeah.
um, Mephisto might just be like, I mean, I he might have like already been helping Wanda so far, like behind the scenes, like helped her create this pocket universe, and like that's why he's also controlling things. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to
It
see.
will be because I just don't know how Shield even or Sword even comes about from Shield because Shield's been gone since 2015, like the old Age of Ultron stuff.
Yeah,
That
they
that
might
was
have
their
just
last time
been
showing up.
rebuilding behind the scenes. I mean, is Nick Fury supposed to be?
I don't know. So Shield or Sword is supposed to be the head of cosmic like issues, and Shield's supposed to be that's what they are in the comics at least.
Oh,
And so when Nick Fury's in space at the end of Captain Mar, no, Far From Home, the
yeah,
end of
for
Far From
him.
Home, that credit scene was in space with the scrolls or whatever. That's supposed to be Sword, I guess. That's supposed to be one of their bases. So
Oh, I see. But they're all
I don't know.
scrolls.
I don't know why they're handling this conflict unless it's like multiverse. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, it might just be because like it's so.
It would be a shock to me. The only reason I'm not against the Mephisto stuff, but wary of it is just because it would be a shock to me if they introduced this multiverse Mephisto stuff all of a sudden. Because people have theorized about that for so many like years now, every movie, and Marvel never does it. They always keep it not realistic, but somewhat like on a simple path in mind. Like if they throw in Sword and a sitcom reality and like all this stuff,
Yeah,
I mean, they could do it because the show's weird, but that does feel like a lot, I guess. I don't know.
I mean they are trying to expand everything, like
That is true.
especially
It
like
just,
they're
I
gonna be
hope it
bringing a
doesn't
lot more characters and just expanding the multiverse. So
I just hope it doesn't make shows like Falcon and Winter Soldier seem like small, I
that's
guess, like the
yeah,
threat.
yeah.
'Cause that's going to be Zemo. And then coming off like this show, it's going to be like, well, we just got the multiverse and now we have like a
The
spy thriller.
devil,
I don't
literally the devil is the villain. It's gonna yeah.
Yeah. I know the only problem with Mephisto, like obviously he's the devil, so he's supposed to like embody evil, but it's hard to be like, okay, what's his motivation for this? Because you know they get the easy answer, like, oh, like I joked about it being lazy, but like he's
Yeah,
very base level, probably like he's evil because he's the devil.
yeah.
So
Um,
yeah,
is the guy at the end of Doctor Strange, the first Doctor Strange, who is supposed to be, who was like teased to
Mordo.
be a villain, is he not going to be
Yeah.
in Doctor Strange 2, or is it
I don't
like
know. They
confirmed?
never announced him as the main villain, but I'm assuming he's in it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know.
But then I don't know
He's
where
probably
Mephisto would come into play. Like who would take over
yeah. If it's a
if he
multiverse movie,
was?
it's weird that Mordo would be in it, like because they haven't teased him doing. I don't know, but he probably has to be because they teased it. Like it's
Yeah,
weird. I
they
don't
were
know.
like yeah, and he's like a
I
main
don't know.
Doctor Strange villain.
If I had, I'm okay. If I had to bet, I'd say Mephisto would probably be teased at the end. But like, what do I? I would say no Mephisto because I think they already have enough conflicts on their plate. I think it could make the story could like still make a lot of sense without him in it. I feel like, yeah,
I
and
think
there's
he's
no
just
proof
gonna
that,
be like behind the scenes. It's gonna be more Agnes
yeah,
doing a lot of the things, and
and yeah,
he's
Agnes's
just gonna
husband
like
Ralph.
mention him, and
We didn't
then
even talk about Ralph yet. She
yeah,
keeps referencing Ralph as some guy.
Ralph,
She
yeah.
said
So
something like he
that's
looked
he's
better in the
supposed
dark
to,
and ton of stuff like that.
yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't
Could
know.
be could be many things. We'll see. So is that the end of this one?
Yeah, I think so.
All
That was
right.
like
Well,
about 20 minutes, I think.
oh, that's pretty long actually. Okay. Well, make sure keep the Instagram at podcast_time_times, the TikTok, posting more on that.
Yep,
Keep it
yeah.
civil in the comment section, but also don't if you don't want to.
Blow it
Sub to the
up.
YouTube. Drop a like. Yeah. Stay tuned for more. Thank
Yep.
you. Bye.
Bye.